fight with Abdullah Mason. He said he accepts the fight, but for $2.5 million, and it had the internet
Yeah,
going crazy. And I think Floyd, well, I think Abdullah Mason is officially an ambassador for Ring Magazine, so that means
yeah,
he's probably gonna fight on a Riyadh season card.
yeah.
As soon as they made that request, they announced the June 7th bout against Jeremiah Nakatila. What's your thought? What's your thoughts on the 2.5 million and Team Mason and Top Rank deciding just to say fuck it?
I think it indicates that you definitely don't want the fight. Um Also, it's like you got to be realistic. These guys don't even have a belt, neither one of them. And you trying to make more than some champions. You know what I'm saying? I understand I understand a little bit why he did that, but then I don't because you got to beat somebody to start making that kind of money. Why
Mm.
not take the Abdullah Mason fight, get the win, then start talking like that? It would make more sense. But to talk like that now, and neither one of them has been in the title fight, is like, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. I think he reaching, like really reaching.
Empty the clip was up.
Flip,
Now
what up?
I can't. BVO was good. Old Mac, all my peoples is in the building. I can't necessarily blame the kid because it seems like he's not calling the shots in that regards. But
Yeah.
would this be classified as a duck?
Oh yeah, because his father know his father know that 2.5 is pushing it. Because if you getting 2.5, what Abdullah supposed to make? You know what I mean? I don't think Abdullah ever
2.5.
made 500,000. Huh?
I don't think that Abdullah would he just start fighting tens. Coda, what up? He just started fighting tens. So I would say Abdullah might not have touched the 100 bands yet.
That's what I'm saying. We don't, you know what I mean? We don't really know.
Because
So to say 2 point
he hasn't headlined his own card yet. Neither is
now,
headlined, right?
right. Well, what's the name? Schofield had one probably like 8 months ago, that time the
Okay.
Golden Boy John.
Uh,
But my thing is you reaching because, like you said, Abdullah, it's not like Abdullah making that kind of money, and then your son definitely not making that kind of money. I understand what you're saying about the fight generating the money, but still 2.5 is pushing it. It's pushing it. So definitely classified as a duck in my book because you know they're not going to pay you 2.5. You already know they're not going to do that.
so it's not really
Now,
pressing the envelope on something that might get made. Because 2.5 is just drastically above market value.
exactly, exactly. That fight is not a pay-per-view fight. It's not a, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's just a good fight. It's two young good fighters. But 2.5, that's definitely pushing. And then when you do that, see, here's the thing. Now guys it's be like that every time out. So you gotta be careful. So I don't think Turkey and them crazy enough. You know what I mean? That's why they went and did what they did.
Yo, so the rumor, I heard two different rumors that he was supposed to get 900K for Shakur, or that he was supposed to get 1.1 million for Shakur. Either way, that's around the same
Yeah,
ballpark. In no way,
yeah,
shape, or form should you ask for 1.5 million more to fight
yep,
Abdullah Mason and Shakur Stevens.
yep.
That's wicked, yo.
And
That's
that's why,
wicked, yo.
but that's why, to be honest, that is a duck because, like I said, he already know he not getting paid that. So you really, and you know what? Schofield Senior might have seen some shit when they was over there that time when they was supposed to fight Shakur,
Mm.
and he probably said, "Oh, these motherfuckers got more money than what they talking about." So that's why he probably did that too, but thinking that they would go for it. But nah, they going the reason I wrote on Twitter he got to get away from his dad because it's gonna get to the point where nobody just want to deal with him, and they're going to shelf him, and that's a shame because young boy he tough, he could fight.
I remember well, before this thing happened, they talked about the sparring between him and Abdullah. And the dad said he put hands and feet on Abdullah. Now,
Mm.
sparring in a fight is a fight, but I feel like if you are that confident that kid would do that to him, then take the fight.
Yeah, take the fight for sure. But I think that's why he said 2.5. He's not confident. So that seems to be the new form of ducking. It's been going on the last about year and a half, 2 years, maybe longer. But this last 2 years, whenever somebody want out of a fight, they ask for something crazy. And they act like they standing on it. Matter of fact, Keith Thurman did it some time ago. Remember, he said he wanted 10 million to fight Boots.
Stuff.
So it's been going
But
on.
but I'm gonna shoot Keith some bell. Keith has made 10 million before. You know what I mean? And so
That's
if
true.
if you have gotten paid that and you were saying that's your fee, I may not agree for that particular fight, but I can understand
Right,
that logic. You've never touched 2.5. You've never touched the M
right,
before.
right, right. That's true. But my point is saying that Keith knew he wasn't getting that 10
Yeah,
million at that time to fight Boots. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
They definitely Schofield, I feel like he trying to basically say if they don't get paid, then they the ones that got ducked. Like I think that's why he threw that out there. So then moving, what happened?
No, no, I'm saying I hope he don't pull that move. Like that'd be a wild jump.
Yeah, because think about it. That his argument is gonna be like, well, the money is there. The money is there. Ah, ah. So he gonna be like, well, they ain't want to pay us, so they duck. That's that's how he gonna paint the picture.
That'd be wild. All right, so let's look at it. Turkey Al Ashiki, they pull out the week of the fight, went down in Riyadh, right?
Yeah,
Now they ask for 2.5 million. You
yeah,
said he had to get away from his dad. You said you feel like they're gonna shelf him.
yeah,
Could this be the situation that keeps kid out of big fights going forward? With you know how promotional companies and managers are when you are difficult with negotiations.
yeah.
Like, could this be the one, or if it continues this pattern of behavior?
It could be the one because he need a fight. If you was only gonna get a million, whatever it was gonna be for Shakur, how did you think in hell you was gonna get more from Abdullah? Now it's gonna get to the point where they're running out of names. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna run out of names. So if they running out of names, they don't fight nobody. Guess what? Nobody gonna want to see them because so much time gonna go past, and then if they don't get the right opponent, nobody gonna want to see him. You was just getting ready to fight Shakur. Everybody was hype about that fight. People really
Well,
wanted to see that fight. So the fact that you didn't get the Shakur fight because you had to pull out, you got mysteriously sick or whatever. Now they offer you Abdullah Mason, but then you want crazy amount of money. It's like who next? If they can't find you somebody that people respect or want to see, nobody's gonna want to see Schofield anymore. So that's why I say he got to get away from. I'm not saying his father don't have to be his trainer, but he gonna have to get somebody else to handle his business for sure.
have you seen scenarios like this with father son combinations?
Yeah, we seen it with Brian Norman Sr. in real time.
2.5 million, bro. When I heard that number, I thought he was gonna say like, "Give me an M and we can make it happen." And do I think that that fight could garner $1 million payday right now in America? No, but
Mm.
in Saudi Arabia, if Turkey wants it bad enough, possibly. But I think anything past $1 million is ridiculous.
My thing is, Mill, what makes me what ponders my mind, right? What got me thinking. If y'all guys want to get to the top, how you think you're going to get there? You gotta beat somebody. The money that they making or the money that they offering is great money, but these guys don't want to fight because the first thing that go to mind is losing. If you really was confident in your dog, you would take the money that they offering because it's good money. It's way more than what you made before. You know what I'm saying? It's way more than you're gonna make your next fight if you don't fight a guy like this. So how else do you think you're gonna get there? You think you're gonna bullshit your way around until you get to, I guess being like Ryan Garcia status or something like that? Everybody can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen dudes fight Keyshawn Davis for less than six figures. Think about what I said.
Mm,
If anybody watching,
yeah.
I know personally guys that fought Keyshawn Davis for less than six figures. When you believe in yourself, you believe in yourself.
Right.
Now, do I think the kid believes? I think the kid believes she can do it. Because to
Yeah.
me, fighters feel like they can beat anybody. When you on that level, like when you achieve a certain level of success, you feel like any of the motherfuckers can get it. But
Right.
you got your handlers, and at the same time, I'm critical of the pop, but he is a dad. And it's a different story watching your fighter get punched on, watching your baby get punched on. Yeah. In the words of Gregory Ellswald Hackett, he came out of my nuts, man. He came out of my nuts. It don't get more personal than something come out of your nuts, yo. It don't get deeper
Real
than that.
shit. Real shit.
Mark Andrews said he
Is
want to see Boots versus Conwell. I like that. I watched them work before. I like that fight.
I think that's a great fight in the future.
That's a great. With the 54, shit. Conwell, Virgil, Jesus, Fundora, Bakram. Those a lot
Yeah.
of good fights for them.
A lot of fights.
I
So
feel
what
bad for kids because go ahead.
I was about to ask you, where does he go though?
I
If
don't
he keep if he
that,
keep getting offered good fights like this and he not taking them, where does he go?
I don't know, bro. I don't know because he's going to get the reputation of a duck. The
Yeah.
reality is it's some scenarios that fans can brush off,
Yeah.
and there's certain fan bases that don't care who they fighters fight. If they fight tough opposition, they just want to see them win.
Right.
But it doesn't belong to that fan base. You're black. The reality is black people are very, very critical of their fighters or of their athletes. They want to see you in there with
Right.
somebody live. And if you ain't in there with somebody live, and if you keep getting offered fights and it's a continuous pattern of behavior, then people are just going to just disregard you. FaZe, what up?
And I don't want to bring this up, but I got to. Gabe Rosado is prime example of success to me because he took fights that a lot of people didn't want to take, made great money, but he was able to change his life. A lot of these guys don't understand that. They trying to pick and choose. You're not in a position to pick and choose. If you're not gonna fight Shakur, then you gotta fight Abdullah. You know what I'm saying? The Shakur fight was perfect, but the fact that he asked for 2.5, that made me think he fears Abdullah.
Hit the like button, y'all.
Definitely hit that like button.
Ask Shakur. He knows about my son. Ask Shakur, Abdullah. We need that 2.5
Yeah,
ASAP.
yeah. He tried to say it in a calm way too, like a confident, calm way, like he knew he was gonna get it.
Tango, what up, baby?
We here.
We need the money. Run it. My man FaZe, if you're a pressure fighter, Boots will get you out. It's either you it's either you run for your life or you stand and fight.
Stand and
And
fight, dude.
either two things are going to happen. You either going to get knocked out or you going to get beat up.
They
And
said
for everybody that talked about Karen, did you see Karen's face? I did an interview. Did you see his face at the end of the fight? Everybody talking about
punch,
exposed. Look, you
punched on.
ask Karen, yeah, Karen to tell you something different.
Karen
It's like,
and Karen, a real motherfucker. Because after the
yeah,
fight, he was chilling amongst the people. He could have just went up to his room
yeah.
and just put some ice on his head.
Karen invited to the cookout, yo. He took the fight, stood tall like a G. Got his ass whooped, but he stood tall. Really, really good fighter, man.
So who else could he fight though, Mill? What you think about Tevin Farmer and Schofield?
I like it. Dangerous, though. I like it. Dangerous. Right now, Boots at 147, Mark. When he get up to 154, then we can have that conversation. But Tevin, like, look, the last couple times out, they done put Tevin in there with three guys that's supposed to be something. Them dudes got out of those fights by the skin of their teeth, literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if Kid Austin's a baby, 22 years old, that's dangerous, bro.
Yeah.
And I want to be honest, they've been carefully matching Kid. They've been picking the right fights to make him look like a monster, as you're
Yeah.
supposed to when building a prospect and building a draw.
Yeah.
But Kid Austin versus Tevin Farmer might be biting off a little bit more than you can chew.
Yeah. They said who's Zepeda? Zepeda and Shakur gonna fight, right?
Yeah, Zepeda, I think that Shakur gonna fight. You know what fight I like? I'm gonna breathe this into existence. Nair Albright versus Kid Austin. Still dangerous, but Nair Albright versus Kid Austin. I feel like that's a fight to make.
That's a good one. That's a respectable John. But that's what I'm saying. He instead of him even entertaining. All right. If you get a call about fighting Abdullah and you know you're not trying to fuck with Abdullah, all right, not yet. But get a fight with an Albright and see how you do. If you get the win and you win convincingly, then talk big. Then start talking about, oh, we need those type of guys. But when you saying my son could beat these guys, and then you get the offer, and then you over exceeded by going another $1.5 million. That's just saying you don't want to fight. You don't want to fight.
There was a rumor that
You don't.
he was offered, I think, an M for
Yeah,
Abdul. Don't know how true this is, but the rumor is that he was offered an M. I feel
yeah,
like that's life-changing money. Like most fighters don't even 99% of fighters don't even reach six figures.
yeah.
So for
A
you to
lot of
get
fight. Yeah,
$1 million one shot for 10 rounds worth of work
yeah,
for with a guy that the dad is claiming that he would beat,
yeah.
why not?
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.